Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. And in this video, we will be talking about Supercharged Evolved Godzilla going up against Amped Up Ghidorah. Some people might say that Evolved Godzilla will win. Some people might say that Amped Up Ghidorah will win. But today in this video, I will end this debate about who is stronger. There will be 12 different categories, such as lifting strength, striking strength, running speed, travel speed, durability, agility, IQ, battle IQ, beam strength, weight, regenerative capabilities, abilities, and size. With all that out of the way, let's get into this video between the one who's many versus the monster who is a star. So let's start with lifting strength. Ghidorah was able to break through Antarctica's ice while he was still recovering from being the ice for so long. Hold Rodan's wings up hard while flying. Keep in mind, this was only two heads holding Rodan, which weighed a whopping 40,000 tons. And he was still recovering at that point. Lifted Godzilla up and chokeslamming him onto the ground with ease, and this was before he got amped. And his best feat in this category is being able to pick up Godzilla and fly to the stratosphere and drop him. And keep in mind, Godzilla weighs a crazy 100,000 metric tons at this point in time. Now on to Godzilla. He was able to lift Ghidorah a few meters off the ground and throw him a few hundred meters back. And keep in mind, Ghidorah weighs a whopping 141,000 tons. Lifted Muto Prime onto his back, who weighed 135,000 tons. Picked up Kong and throw him with just his jaw. And pushed back Mechagodzilla, who weighs a crazy 600,000 tons, and Godzilla was weakened at the time. And it was stated that when Godzilla was in Rome, he was almost as strong as amped up Godzilla back in Boston. And he also absorbed all the energy in the nuclear power plant and absorbs Tiamat's DNA and absorbed all the solar infusion radiation pocket in the Antarctica's ocean. So I know it looks like lifting strength should go to Goji, but I'm gonna have to give it the slight edge to Ghidorah, and I'll tell you why. Ghidorah, while not amped up, was already lifting and already amped Godzilla, who absorbed a ton of radiation from the nuke, which probably even made him even heavier at that point in time. And when Ghidorah was finally amped up from all the energy in Boston, he picked up Godzilla and flew to the stratosphere. Now on to striking strength. Godzilla was able to kill the male Muto with one swipe of his tail. And when clashing with Ghidorah, they both created a shockwave. And he also ripped one of Ghidorah's many heads off underwater. And this was in 2019. And now we are talking about a stronger and faster evolved version of Godzilla. So he definitely got way stronger than he was in King of the Monsters. Now on to Ghidorah. Ghidorah was able to make Godzilla roar in pain by just biting him on the neck and his arms. But that's really his only feat in striking strength. So I'm gonna have to give striking strength to Evolved Godzilla. Now on to running speed. Ghidorah, when charging at Godzilla back in KOTM, was about the same speed as Godzilla, who ran at 300 miles per hour. So his speed is around 310 miles per hour to 290 miles per hour. Now on to Goji. Godzilla back in King of the Monsters, which I already stated, runs at 300 miles per hour. And as we saw in GXK The New Empire, he was running a lot faster than he was in KOTM. So I'm going to have to give this category to Godzilla. Now on to travel speed. Ghidorah was able to fly at Mach 0.8, and that being 613 miles per hour, and fly from Washington, D.C. to Boston in just a matter of minutes. Now on to Godzilla. Godzilla was able to swim at 35 miles per hour back in GVK, and in his evolved state, he's probably faster. So, best estimate speed in swimming is around 40 to 45 miles per hour. So, travel speed goes to Ghidorah. Now on to the most controversial category, durability. Ghidorah was able to tank Godzilla's atomic breath for 18 seconds, and it was stated in the novelization that Godzilla's atomic breath is stronger than everything, not just the Earth, but the entire universe. And Ghidorah was able to tank it like it was nothing. He also tanked the oxygen destroyer that almost killed and made Godzilla retreat back to his base, tanked a lot of missiles from the military, survived being frozen by Shimo, tanked a tail swipe from Godzilla that one-shotted the Melmudo, and tanked 2 thermonuclear pulses from Godzilla. Now on to Godzilla. Godzilla was able to tank many hits from the Mudo Prime, tank hundreds of hits from the male and female Mudo, and a building falling on top of him while being nerfed by the EMP, tank the sonic roar from Mudo Prime, tanked a bunch of gravity beams from Ghidorah, survive an oxygen destroyer, tank a nuke right to the face, survive an extinction level event that killed 95% of the living things on the Earth straight to the face, and survive being dropped by Ghidorah from the stratosphere. Even though this category is very close, I'm going to give this to Evolved Godzilla, because it is stated that Evolved Godzilla durability did increase when he evolved. Now on to agility. Honestly, we can just skip this one because it's obviously Godzilla. Ghidorah's only feat in this category is dodging Godzilla's atomic breath, and his neck is like the only place where he's very agile. Also, for him to move around more agile is having a flat place. That's why when we saw in KOTM that King Ghidorah needed to destroy a lot of buildings so he could move around better. Now on to IQ. Godzilla was able to know if someone or something is a danger or not, communicate with all the other titans, and keep them in check, know when to rest and regain energy, sharpen his dorsal plates, and finding the weakness in other titans. Now on to Ghidorah. Just like Godzilla, Ghidorah is able to tell the other titans around the world that he is their alpha now. Tell all the other titans around the world to destroy cities and building, smart enough to absorb all the energy in Boston when he was weakened and he needed a boost, and know when to escape or run off, as we saw in Antarctica. And in general, I think IQ is gonna have to go to Ghidorah just because he has 3 heads, so I think he can think better. Now on to battle IQ. Godzilla has shown that he can fight multiple titans, such as the male and female Mudo, fought Ghidorah twice, fought Shimu twice, fought Kong, fought the rival, fought the Mudo Prime, fought Scar King and his army, and fought in the Great Titan War. And let's not forget that he knows how to change battle styles, as we saw in GVK. Now on to Ghidorah. Ghidorah has fought Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan. He also knows how to use his tail to wrap around Godzilla's neck and pick him up into the air, use his neck to bite Godzilla and slam him onto the ground, and know when to dodge Godzilla's atomic breath. So, it's obvious, Godzilla gets battle IQ. Now on to beam strength. Godzilla was still able to push back the female Mudo while he was still nerfed by the EMP, being able to make Kong flying through the air, push Ghidorah back several if not 1,000 meters in Boston, sent Scar King flying to the ground with his atomic breath, pushed Shimo off the ground when shooting his atomic breath into her stomach back in GXK, and blasting a hole through the earth. Now onto Ghidorah. Ghidorah was able to push Godzilla several hundred meters back in Antarctica and sent Rodan into the water with just one of his heads and pushed Mothra back several hundred meters. So this category definitely goes to Godzilla. Now onto weight. Evolved Godzilla weighs about 100,000 tons, while Ghidorah weighs about 140,000 tons. So this category goes to Ghidorah. Now onto regenerative capabilities. As we saw in KOTM, Ghidorah was able to regenerate his head back in one piece like it was nothing in just a matter of seconds. And when Ghidorah was using his wings, lightning, his wings were injured by his ability, but he was able to regenerate them back like nothing happened. Godzilla is also able to regenerate, but his regenerative capabilities is not as good as Ghidorah's, since Ghidorah is not a part of the natural order. He is an alien. So this category goes to Ghidorah. Now onto abilities. Ghidorah's abilities are rapid cellular regeneration, electrical and nuclear energy absorption, gravity beam, create category 5 hurricanes, shoot lightning out of his wings, meteorokinesis, which basically means that he can conduct electrical currents, and energy drain, as we saw when Ghidorah was absorbing Godzilla's nuclear energy. This category is close, but I'ma have to give it to Ghidorah because his abilities are better than Godzilla. Now on to the last category, size. But yeah, it's obvious. It's 100% Ghidorah. Now on to the conclusion. I know that Ghidorah got more points than Godzilla, but if the fight actually happened, then evolved Godzilla would be able to win. I think that it would be mid to high difficulty for Godzilla. So that's the end of this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. This took me a long time to make, so let's see if we can get 5 subs to 10 likes. I would gladly appreciate it. And thanks to Godzilla Guy, FDA, and Goji Center for being my inspiration on making this video. And I will see you on the next kaiju battle video. Also go subscribe to Rebel Clam. This is my second YouTube channel.